Right then, it's time for the Yo Show, and where else to get started but here at the training ground. And we're set for a good one. Let's get started. Right, so we're going to be putting your questions to Joshy Coulson later in this episode, but first let's catch up with Justin Edinburgh, who's freshly been announced Manager of the Month. Here we go. Right, so here we are with March's National League Manager of the Month, Justin Edinburgh. Justin, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks very much for having me on, Oliver.
Congratulations, it must be a fantastic reward to get this after what was a great month.
Yeah, no, it's been a brilliant month for everyone connected with the football club. You know, it's Manager of the Month, but it's more about a Team of the Month really for me. You know, my staff, players, everyone connected with the football club. So it's been a really good March, one that was needed really, because it's off the back of probably our worst form of the season. You know, during the February month, where you know there was reasons behind that. You know, and one being that you know we did unfortunately pick up a few injuries along the way, and it sort of put us on the back foot, but credit to the players, they recovered and had a fantastic March.
And looking at the games that we had over in March, we had some big wins, especially over those competing up the top with us. We beat Fylde and Wrexham at the Braille Group Stadium. It's set a good platform now for the real crunch time of the season, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think you always look at the fixtures against your opponents at the top, that you want to try and take maximum points, and we were able to do that against Wrexham and Fylde. I think probably the big win for me was the one I haven't really, because you know we needed to get a run going, and you know I think people frown upon it, but I think it's a tough place to go. You know, we wasn't perhaps firing on all cylinders, and we changed the shape, and again it's credit to the players to adapting and taking that on board and producing the performance in a sense of a gritty one, and you know certainly with a worldie of a goal to put us in front, and I think Cole's popping up with a winner. So I think that was the start of what was going to be a good month in terms of getting the results, you know, consecutively. And we obviously had our best month of the season, you know, recording I think 5 league wins on the spin.
And you touched there on the goals at Havant that won the strike from Jordan, but it's been a month full of good goals and a lot coming from all over the pitch. The squad's in a good place.
Yeah, no, we weren't reliant solely on our strikers. You know, we had goals from all over. You know, defensive areas. Lingy getting his first one for the club. Jay Simpson, you know, when his first one back from returning. You know, Coles and Marv were there, and so it was spread, and you know it was needed, and it set us up nicely for the month of April. You know, where you're in a fantastic position, and we look forward to it. I know the players do. You know, they have a thirst for success and a desire for that. And us, you know, we had a meeting here this morning. I think we were all disappointed, not the fact from the performance, but we just perhaps forgot what it was like to get beat, and we don't like it, and we didn't enjoy it. But we've had a meeting here this morning with the players, and you know, when we come back here in late June, if someone were to give us the opportunity to be a point clear with a game in hand with 6 to go, then there's no doubt we would have took that.
And looking at Tuesday's night against Bromley, it was a frustrating evening. I think that's probably putting it nicely, isn't it?
No, it is. I mean, you know, from being in total control in the first half, and probably like I say, I think the thing missing was perhaps our quality in the final third to have, you know, gone further ahead. But you know that just shows how quickly things change with decisions and moments. We'll be disappointed with how the ball got through, you know, for the opponent to get into the position to draw the foul. You know, I believe I don't see what Marv can do to get out of the way. So, you know, I can sit here and talk about the refs. We're fully aware, you know, they have tough decisions to make. But, you know, how quickly one decision turned the game on its head. And unfortunately, I think, you know, for us as a group, we were bitterly disappointed that we didn't certainly see the game out to get a draw. So, but, you know, we have to use that to our advantage. You know, I spoke to the players after. it's a hiccup. It's nothing more than that. And you know, what I've always said about this group of players is when they do have a slight setback, they always seem to respond in a positive manner.
And it was just the first of our 2 games in hand. But we're still in control. We're as a point clear at the top of the National League. It just makes that game against Eastleigh now.
Well, there's 23 teams that would love to be in our position, and that's all I say. Is it's irrelevant of other teams. All we can control, and I've said this, is our results, and that's what we've got to try and do. And we've got to try and be as positive in the fact that we've got to try and get as many wins or points on the board as we possibly can in all them 6 games.
And I'm guessing you're looking forward to getting back in front of a home crowd at the Bray Group Stadium on Saturday when Halifax come to town?
Definitely. I think we've had, you know, a period where we've travelled a lot in this month, so we've had some fantastic away performances and results, and we've had 2 outstanding home victories against Wrexham and Fylde. So, you know, I look at, we've got four games at home, and we've got to try and make that advantage, and that crowd and that extra man, you know, play its part in the next 4 home games. That's for sure.
Thank you very much for joining us, Justin.
Thanks, Ollie.
And now let's take a look over the Marches form and see how the boys got on in them games.
Bon, Simpson, Ekpiteta, Ekpiteta for Orient. Massive goal, and it's a centre half of all people who's got it for Leyton Orient.
My word, what a month it was for the O's, and what deserved recognition for Justin and the team. But now it's time to look ahead to April, the last month of the season, and let's hope it's a good one. But first, let's go catch up with Joshy Coulson and put your questions to him. Here we go. Come on, the O's! So he's got a massive forehead and he's joining me for this episode of the O Show. Thank you very much for joining us, Josh. It was a frustrating night on Tuesday, wasn't it? But you got yourself on the score sheet again.
Yeah, didn't mean as much that one, but
no.
Tough game. I think I can't say too much about them. Is what it is. We'll just concentrate on Saturday.
I was going to say it's all about moving on now,
exactly
isn't it? About moving on, picking up points. So we put out a GIF of you slapping your forehead and asked the fans if they've got any questions for you. There are a few serious ones. There are a few serious ones. A lot of them focused on the size of your forehead.
I'm not. Look, I love the song, right?
Yeah.
It's not that. There's bigger heads.
Is this a plea to the fans?
No, because I love the song. It's brilliant.
Okay.
It's good. But there are other big heads in this.
Who's got a bigger head than you then?
Joe Widdowson. I know he's got a lot of hair. That disguises how big his head is. I put Jordan Maguire-Drew's hat on the other day and that fit nicely.
Okay, so you're saying
he's got a big head.
Jordan Maguire-Drew has a bigger head than you?
Well, his hat fit my head, so it can't be my head can't be that much bigger.
Well, we'll have to have a measure up one day.
A lot of people have asked, haven't they?
A lot of people have asked a lot. So let's start off with some serious ones about football, about the game, and then we'll move on to your head.
Massively. When they get going, it does spur you on. I get at home sometimes it's harder because everyone's spread out a bit, but when that does get rocking and we know we have to give them something to cheer about, we know that, but it does give you that little bit, and I think it shocks the other team maybe.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think it does help. I think if the louder they are, that's obviously a better atmosphere for everyone. It
certainly felt as though it helped at Telford away, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Well, it did for me. It makes me laugh when I come up.
Well, because that's the thing. We've got a question here from at PDR1112, and it's a slightly similar one. He says, "How does it feel to hear your song being sung at every corner, and does it inspire you to score?"
It puts pressure on me, doesn't it?
It does. It's asking a lot of you. But I remember at Telford, you could, on the highlights, you could hear the song going in the background. You're kind of bobbing your head along. Yeah. Does it get you in the mood? Does it get you?
It does. Look, I like to play with a smile on my face, so that helps when I come up and I'm having a bit of a laugh. And then when I know someone's ready to take the corner, I sort of switch back into my game mode. But yeah, it does. It makes me think, right, let's go and attack.
Does it give you that extra incentive?
It does a little bit sometimes, yeah. And it's lucky the deliveries are on my head sometimes, and I don't have to move a lot.
It does help that the deliveries are good from out wide.
If she watches this, she'll laugh.
But it had, you've got what, 5 goals in March?
Is it 4?
4 goals in March.
And then 1 the other day.
One the other day. But for a centre back, that's pretty good returns.
It's not bad, is it? I think it was something like 5 and 8 I've scored.
Yeah. And
the most prolific time ever. I've never been that prolific, no.
Are you enjoying scoring? Are you
it's good.
Loving the feeling?
Chipping in.
Because looking back to last year, you dropped down from Cambridge to come and sign permanently for the O's. It must feel like a really good decision now.
Yeah, I didn't see it as a drop down. To start, obviously, I was with Cambridge in League 2, but I weren't really playing as much as or didn't think I was going to play as much as I was. Heard that Orient were interested. Obviously knew Martin from my Cambridge days. Got on really well with Martin. The stature of the club obviously was like, right, well, it's local to me, it's not too far. Didn't have to up and move, just had a little one. But
could you sense back then, a year and a half ago, that something was building?
Definitely. I think as soon as I sort of looked to see who they'd signed, obviously knew what had happened the season before, looked to see who'd signed and the names that were going in, I thought, wow, they're good names, good lads. Obviously something good's going to be happening there. Obviously last season didn't go as we all hoped, but there was still something in that team where we thought we can do something to achieve with this group of people. And as you can see, it's, 100%. I think the table doesn't lie. It's been a long season so far, and we're at the top because we deserve to be at the top. Obviously, it's the end of the season is always different, and teams don't really know what they're playing for. But yeah, we have. I think the group's a great group. Everyone gets on really, really well.
In terms of the attitude, and after Bromley on Tuesday, let's not beat around the bush. It was a disappointing evening all round. How did the lads bounce back after?
Yeah, after the game, it was not nice. They were giving it the big one, you can hear that. And boys are frustrated. Everyone's frustrated. So a bit of anger. Get on the bus, go. There was cold shower, so it was horrible. Get on the bus. We were in Wednesday. We were at the ground all together, and look, it was forget about that. It's gone. Well, there's nothing we can do about that. And bounce back, get ready for Saturday, which is another massive game. So training today was good. Everyone's upbeat. I think this group's good at responding to defeats. I think we've shown that over this season. Every time we've had a bad or indifferent result, we've responded quite well. So we'll be looking to do that again.
Yeah, and you're looking forward to Saturday's game back in the Bradley Group Stadium.
Yeah, I think that helps.
Good to try and restart a run.
Yeah, I think that helps. Obviously, massive games now, and Saturday's the start of that. Where do we want to be at the end of the season? So. That's one of my good mates, Ben. Ben's not cut.
Is that him being kind? Is that him being kind as well?
It could have been worse, I'm sure.
Nice.
Similar. It was a good group. Everyone was there because we all wanted the same thing. I think that helps. I think sometimes players have different motives, which is understandable, it's a job, but I think that group at that time all wanted the same thing. And I think that was exactly the same thing.
And you won the double that season.
Yeah, we did. We won
and so,
the playoffs and the trophy. Yeah.
So for you to know how that feels, let's bring a good bit of know-how to this.
Don't want to have to go to Wembley twice again.
No.
As much as it's good, we don't want to go to Wembley. But yeah, the group is very similar. Everyone got on, and everyone does here. Like, we are like a family. I know it's so cliche to say that, but we are. We live in each other's pockets. We all get on off the pitch. So yeah, it has got a lot of similarities. So hopefully,
well,
the same outcome, but not Wembley twice.
Not Wembley twice. Not Wembley twice. And to wrap it up, we've got a question from our very own media executive at KHuds_Courtney. He's asked, why did you break Danny Webb's jaw?
I did. Yeah, I did.
So you did break Danny Webb's jaw?
Yeah, I was young. Didn't do it on purpose, just so you all know. He was playing for Bath at the time. We played him. They did beat us about 4-0, I think, that game.
So that when you first came back to training with him, there was no.
As soon as I signed here,
was he giving?
Goes like this all the time. Yeah, it was an honest mistake. I just went for the ball. We put his head in, and I headed his cheekbone, shattered it, and I didn't actually know what to do after the game. I didn't say sorry. So
you didn't hospitalise him, did you?
He did have to go to hospital.
Wow.
So I'll make an official apology to Webby on camera to the world. I'm so sorry.
How many years later? How long ago did this happen?
This is a while ago. But I am sorry. It hasn't changed his good looks, has it? He's a strapping young man.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Josh, and best of luck on Saturday.
Pleasure, thank you.
Right, and that's all we've got time for on this week's episode of The O Show. Thanks to Josh Coulson for answering your questions, and also thank you and a big well done to Manager of the Month, Justin Edinburgh. Now, I'll see you on Saturday at the Bradley Group Stadium when we take on Halifax. Up the O's.